Thank you, Dr. Kim. This is so nice to have you here, and that you give us such a good advice and good information. Thank you. I agree with you. I agree with every one of you that I attend a lot of different meetings, just like yourselves, in the called mainstream. I am one of the mainstream. You are one of the mainstream members. However, when I go to non-Korean community and I speak up about what Korean American contribute to this country, we make this country better and better. When I arrived in the United States, 1974, I look at the sky and talk to God and talk to America and say, America, Sonny Park is here. You better be glad I'm here, because I'm here not to beg anything, but I am here to help you. That's what it is. It sounds like a bragging, but that's my story. But I think talk about Korean culture. When we come here, Korean is a very special, but it's not generosity, but it is a cultural thing, I think. Once we get the benefit of something, we have a mind, we educated for thousands of years, pay back. You know, the Korean register, I don't know, the generation know about this, the Korean family registry. If anybody commit the criminal activities, right on top of the name, the red stripe, older generation knows. So 10th generation, 20th generation, they look at the hojo, the family register. Man, 5 generations ago, my grandfather or grandmother was committed some kind of a criminal. So we were under pressure, but don't do anything, but you're harmed and you're insulting your own family. So we are not here to begin anything and taking anything. We want to take advantage of what this country offers, and then we want to pay back. So I talk about my story, but I think that is our story. So pretty much every one of us. So we have now 10 minutes to jump over to the third subject. And we have dinner after dinner. I think he's already, Mr. Kang is nervous about finishing up quickly, but we didn't come here to eat dinner. So we're gonna go on to 7 o'clock. No, don't worry about it. We will finish, we want to finish at 6 o'clock, but let's finish by, because it needed 20 minutes. And we're gonna jump over to third session. And then, detailed tasks for Korean Americans of a Korean ancestry to gain trust as a contributing and respectable ethnic group among our neighbors. I understand what Mr. Guangdong Cho talked about. We built a great community and a great reputation. We are very hardworking and then respectable ethnic group. However, there's some negative side of it. What negative side? I'm not here to talk about any bad news, but every time I see the TV screen and the massage parlors, the ladies get the handcuffed, and then TV shows all the massage parlors look like a Korean. They try not to talk about that they are from Korea, but whenever I see that scene, I feel so bad because I'm so embarrassed. Those viewers, or whoever saw, the American people, the TV viewers that saw that, and then they go out the street and see my wife and my own daughter, and what do you think? They match, that's a bad thing. It's a very tiny portion of a Korean American community, but it affects very big, negatively. We talked about, Mr. Cho wrote an essay about the Korean Americans, first generations, not teaching, act as a role model for our next generation. We cheat on taxes, we cheat on regulations and things like that. We are generally all good. Like I said, we are very good. Even people call us a model minority, no trouble. It's the positive. I want to talk about the positive side of that. However, we have something very, very unique thing that they need to pay attention to it. So I have, to make it 20 minutes worthwhile, if you look at page, I think it's 12, page 12, there's no page mark here, but if you look at this page here, this is the 7th forum. We've been doing it, this is the 6th time, this is the 7th. And then we discuss the same subject. Discussion is pretty much the same. And then this is a very, very special and I'm very proud of this panel, what we have discussed and what we heard about your opinion. Then if you look at the bottom here, this is the conclusions from the previous, one of the forum we conducted a long time ago. So based on that, and then what else, or anything we need to add, then let's go that way so we can use the time more effectively. We already discussed, and this is a result, I mean, the conclusion that we have. It's like if I read it through, we have to think as an acting American. We're in the border, and I shared with someone else earlier, you know, I don't serve two gods, I don't serve the two wives, I don't serve two countries, that's pretty much. I'm American, I sworn at the courthouse, this American flag was there, I sworn in to front of a judge, and I'm American, I'll be loyal, patriotic American. If ever this country engaged in a war against the country where you from, you bear arms and shoot them. That's what we promised. Any citizen committed to that, you're going to be loyal. So don't kid ourselves. There's a lot of different ways to compromise, but that's a fact. So without that, without become good patriotic citizens, we don't have a base. We don't have a base in this country. That's what I think. So we need to become trustful, respectful, you know, at the neighbor and the community members. That's what I think we should. There's a lot of good, positive things that our community offer, but there's the negatives. And then what we have to do. That's what this time is important, but we discussed a more important thing that like a symptom. We talked about it already. So we have to think act as American, and we came to America to live, and we are not visitors from Korea. We are Americans of Korean ancestry. You probably thought about how we named the Americans of Korean ancestry. We are American. The hyphenated Americans, like a Korean American, Japanese American, Mexican American, those hyphenated Americans are not. The President Truman mentioned it several times about and then other presidents talked about hyphenated American. They're sidelined. They are classify themselves as a sideline. I agree with it. So we are Americans of Korean ancestry. As long as you want to live here and raise your children here, and this is a place you're going to die here, and then we're Americans. When America suffers, so we should sympathize with her. When America achieves victory, we should celebrate with all our heart. You know, this is important thing. When fire in the West Coast, the mountain, where Dr. Kim was living in Montana, I had privilege to visit the Montana. We had the CKA forum. The retreat, and I really enjoyed it. When the fire at the Yellowstone area burning for days and weeks, do we really push ourselves to suffer? I mean, the heart is just really, really sorrow. Compared to Kang somewhere that flooded, and then people died. It's all bad, but your heart is the more impact. Which is that? Well, something happened to our neighborhood, to me or to you, and who's going to come save us, help us? Our neighbors. The people in the Kang will not come in. It's just a practical question. So we are American. We're the neighbors of American neighborhood. And that's what I try to emphasize. It. We need to sympathize with American sufferers, neighbors, poor neighbors, whatever going on. It's my home. I gotta fix my roof leak. There's something going on in the community, in school, something going on in the school, we gotta jump in and fix it because it's my problem. That's what I see. The high school dropout that I mentioned about, there's America have a less better future because of a lot of too many kids are dropping out of high school. It's somebody else for they are bad family, and so we cannot just pass by and laugh of them because they are my neighbor and they're the one who come and help me if I'm in trouble. We're in the same boat. And then there's no two boats in America. That's how I look at it. So the next one is that we should study American history to be patriotic to America. You know, when I love my wife, the same thing, when you meet your wife or spouse or husband, and then you got to know her before you love that person. America is hard for us to live. We don't look like American, Asian faces. So we don't perceive it as American. People think we are visitors. People think we are a foreigner and more loyal to the country where they're from. Fourth generation, third generation. Jun Choi, he was a mayor of a city in New Jersey. But when stranger people look at him and say, is he visiting here? I mean, that's the thing. I'm not complaining. That's the reality. That's what we're dealing with every day. And our children at school, that's what they're dealing with. So how can we fix it? We got to have a better reputation when we have some more. That's what I'm talking about. Policies toward that. That's why we have to study. You want to love the country, love the United States. We got to know her. So this is the thing. The kids learning American history at school, but we, the first generation, second generation, we need to show the love of this country. You love, but I love Korea more. I don't think it's going to work. That's my opinion. And then lastly, the policies toward the Korean American in Korea can at times hinder the American of a Korean ancestry to become an integral part of America. Stick to where you live. Fulfill your duties as a good American citizen. Only then will American of Korean ancestry become the respected minority group. That's how I look at it. We got to take care of our neighbors. There's something going bad, we got to take care of it. It's like a roof leak. We got to fix it. It's my country and my neighborhood. That's what I look at. So I spent too much time already. We got 10 minutes. And then we go around it. Instead of going everyone, just random, whoever have opinion, just help out. Give opinion.
Just I take 5 minutes. I have 2 sons and 3 grandsons. They are American. I'm not. 여기 떠나시기 전에 이 신문 하나씩 꼭 가져가세요. 그렇게 하고 여기에 그 레빈 랭귀지 센터 광고를 꼭 봐주시기 바랍니다. 그래 제가 지금 생각하는 거는 미국에서 선교사를 엄청 많이 한국, 일본, 중국에 보냈습니다. 그런데 가장 성공한 데는 한국뿐입니다. 그래서 지금 제너럴의 말씀 중에서 액션, 캡틴 말씀 중에서 dream, we have an action dream, dream action. 우리 자녀들에게 한국말, 일본말, 중국말을 가리키면 그들이 어디 가서 무엇을 하든지 간에 opportunity가 더 많으리라고 생각을 합니다. 그래서 학생을 좀 보내주시고 학생을 서포트하는 프로그램이 있으니까 거기에도 좀 참석을 해주시면 좋겠고요. 저희가 지금 C stand for Christ and China, J stand for Jesus and Japan, K stand for King and Korea.
Wow.
China, Japan, Korea could be harmonized and the world be harmonized by Jesus Christ. Amen.